we're super, super excited for you to be here. So we're going to go ahead and start now. First of all, it's funny, as I said this, I hear my phone beep. Go ahead and turn off your phone. This is something that could change your life. This is very important. So I want you to turn off your phone. Don't be distracted by any buzzers, pings, and give this your full attention. Now you might be wondering, am I even in the right place? Like, what is she talking about? Maybe I'm too good for this. Maybe I'm not good enough for this. Well, you're in the right place if you're a naturally caring individual that likes to help others. It gives you a sense of purpose, and working from home with a more flexible schedule while also making a difference in the lives of others would be ideal. You might be a mother or father wanting to be with your family more and helping contribute to the income, or you might be a single that likes the idea of getting a jump start on creating a future and a lifestyle that would center around family and friends. You're also in the right place if you're a creative professional, but you feel like you're being overworked and underpaid. I know that I can speak from experience as a past photographer that it's tough. Using your creative skills, though, in an area like this, like health and fitness, it gives you a niche. You kind of, come at things in a very different way, but it also allows you to prioritize your own health and wellness. Now, on the flip side, if you're already in health and fitness, you're a health and fitness professional, maybe you're going to school for nutrition, you might also feel like you're being overworked and underpaid. It isn't all cracked up to what you thought it would be. And using your knowledge and skills would give you an edge and a niche for online coaching, because again, it's this collective of all different types of people. You're not only, in the realm of health and fitness professionals with that type of background. And also you would be prioritizing your own balance and lifestyle, because I know a lot of my friends that are fitness professionals, they really struggle finding the time to breathe because they're just training clients, teaching classes. Lastly, you're in the right place if you have already reached what most would call success in your career, and now you want to focus on family and lifestyle, while also earning an income and not having an income cap. You love that idea because you already know how to work hard. Now, this is important. I want you to stick around, and this is UK first bonus. So that's a typo with the UK. That's kind of a sneak peek of something we're going to talk about launching to the UK. But this is a fast start bonus. So I want you to stick around to the end, because this is a little offer that we're going to offer at the very end for those who stick around. Now, here's a little bit about what we are going to cover tonight. The first thing we're going to cover is the 4 ways to make an income. You need to figure out, most people think there's one way, you work, you get money. You need to figure out what is the best way for what your goals are. And then the next thing is, I really believe that lifestyle trumps money. This is not, we're going to be talking about income a lot in here, because this is a business and you need to know what you would be getting into. But when you hear us talking about money and you hear me educating on money, it's because I value people and lifestyle over all of it. I want you to spend less time stressing over money and going through life's motions, and more time living the life you're born to live. And then the last part is going to just be all about coaching, the truth about it. What is it, and is it right for you? Now, here's the 4 things you need to know about money. 1, money is neutral. And this is where I want to go ahead and pass it off on this topic to Amanda Clark. She is one of the coaches in our collective, and she has some really good input on how she believes that money is neutral.
Thanks, Ashley. So as Ashley said, I'm Amanda Clark, and I know that some people think of money as like lavish and selfish and are afraid of it. But money for me is a big thing. So our daughter was diagnosed with 3 inoperable brain tumors in 2012. So she has extensive medical bills and lots of things that we have to, different things that she needs to help with her disabilities. And so this business has really helped me and my family to be able to pay for some of those medical expenses and things that she needs. And my team has also been helping me to start a nonprofit foundation in honor of my daughter. And so I'm just so glad that I took that step and began my coaching business, because it has just been a huge blessing in my life and a huge weight off of us financially to be able to help with the medical expenses. So money is huge for us. Like, that is a big deal. So I would like to turn it over to Kelly Mazesco. And mindset is everything. So instead of saying that you can't afford it, or you have to say, how can I afford it? And instead of saying, I don't have time, how can I make time? And that's exactly what Kelly did. So Kelly, can you share a little bit of your story?
Yeah, of course. So, this is something that is a big question that people have when they first start. You want to know, like, okay, how am I going to make time for this? I'm so busy. I have a bunch of different things that I'm doing, and I totally get that. When I first started coaching, I went from, we got offered this job to work at a summer camp for the whole summer. So we packed our little family up and went to Virginia for the summer and lived in a tiny little cinder block house with no oven or anything like that. We were eating camp food. So when I very first started my journey, we were eating camp food. So that was like so crazy. So I had to make it work. I did not have Wi-Fi for my coaching business. And so I had to just work off of my cell phone. So I built myself and built my business to a really great spot just off my cell phone, and driving like 35 minutes into town twice a week to go sit in a coffee shop and work from my computer just for an hour or two. I just had to make it work. And so instead of, saying, wow, I don't have time, I had to tell myself, hey, how can I make time for this? How do I make it work? So that was something that was awesome.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I wish you guys could see everybody's beautiful faces when they speak, because I just see the passion in them and it makes me so happy. All right, so here's the second thing we want to know about money. So it's neutral and it's all about mindset. But we're going to talk about liabilities and assets. Now, rich people, they acquire assets. That the middle class and poor, they acquire liabilities that they think are assets. And a good example would be a house. The middle class, the poor, they're like, I got a house. This is great investment. Well, no, it's not making you money. So let's look at what exactly a liability is. A liability is something that takes your money away. So when you get that mortgage every month, it's a bill. It's not a check. So it's a liability. Now, an asset is something that makes you money. So that would be like a rental property that you own that gave you a check. And so that's something that you have to kind of change your mindset about. And this is where financial freedom comes from. And to me, financial freedom is going through the grocery store, shopping for my family of 7, and not feeling like that stress. Because I just bought them a bunch of amazing organic food. I shouldn't feel stress over that, right? Financial freedom is getting a doctor's bill because you just had a beautiful baby and being like, whatever, doesn't even matter how much it is. We've got this child. And that comes when your assets, the money coming in, is more than your losses. Now, here's 2 terms that are really important to know as we go forward and talk about coaching. One is passive income, and that's income derived from business investments in which the individual is not actively involved. Passive basically means inactive or submissive. So passive income could be viewed as money that you make that doesn't even require an effort from you. Sign me up for that, right? Residual income, on the other hand, is reoccurring payments that you receive long after the initial sale is made, usually in specific amounts or at regular intervals. So that is money that you did work for, but it's basically you made an initial sale and it's some type of membership, or like, let's say you wrote a book and you did the work one time, a lot of work, and then you get the royalties and they just come long after you did the initial work. Now, there are 4 ways to create income. And remember, I told you, it's not all equal. And so we're going to dive into these 4 different ways, because this is what you need to know if you have a need for income, if you're thinking about getting a job, starting a business, whatever it is. It's really important to be educated on what choice you should make, because they're not all equal. And so I'm going to hand it off now to Lindsay, and she's going to share about the first type way to make income.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Actually not, because I know. Okay, cool. So the first type of income or ways to make money is to be an employee. I think it's an easy one. A lot of us think to take. And oh my gosh, this is so small, I can't read it. But to be an employee, usually the road is that you would start with some kind of school or go back to school if you're trying to change careers. So a lot of us take that path of college. I started college. I thought that was going to be the road for me. I dropped out. The other thing is to be an apprentice, to get some kind of skill from somewhere else, which is also something that I did. I was a hairdresser, and once you get employed, you actually had to go to school first, and you still have to apprentice. So been down both these roads, as well as sometimes you just start from the bottom. So maybe you start at Starbucks, and first you're a barista, and then you're a manager, and eventually you work your way up into corporate and bigger jobs with better benefits and all these different things. So some benefits of being an employee is there's less stress. It's not your business. You don't have to take it home with you. In some cases, there is work you do take home, but you have that umbrella of safety of it's not your problem. If something bigger is going on with your company, if you go into work, you're going to get paid your hourly rate or your salary, and that is guaranteed in a sense to you no matter what happens. You could get promotions. There's room to grow, hopefully, in whatever company you can move through. There's lots of opportunity there to change still, even with being an employee. Better pay. It's, like I said, guaranteed. It's something that you're committed to, an hourly wage, a minimum wage, or a different rate that they agreed upon when they hired you, and a better schedule in that it's consistent usually when you work as an employee. But to go to school or to have that apprenticeship, you might have some negatives. You might have debt. You probably have debt. I have maybe still $40,000 of debt from a half a year of school and a whole year of a cosmetology license. You also have to make sacrifices. You have the 9 to 5, but you don't get to set that for yourself. It's expected that if they ask you to work, you have to work. If they want you to work holidays, you kind of have to say yes. You don't really get to say what time you have on or off when you're an employee, as well as your vacation days are set usually, and the time that you can take off if you're sick or your kids are sick. And there really isn't job assurance. As much as we like to think that being hired somewhere we are safe, you could get fired tomorrow being someone else's employee. They aren't ultimately looking out for you. They're looking out for their company and their business. You might have to go find another job at some point. It could be a long journey to move up. And what does it say? Little room to change your mind. Sorry. So little room to change your mind. So for me, I started going to school, to college for musical theater. And so when I was invested in that, I realized that was a bad investment of my time and money, and I got out. And then I went to beauty school, and I thought that was going to be a great career. I was a beautician. I was a cosmetologist for 7 years. And all that did for me is give me opportunities in salons. And I realized it wasn't going to be the right path for me anymore. So this was me as a hairdresser. I really loved it for what it was, and I'm glad that I found it when I did, because college was not for me, and I liked having a skill. But there were promises made as an employee. You get this degree or this certification, and you think you're going to make a certain amount, and your path is going to be whatever it's going to be. And I was let down. I was let down by that career, and I was not let down because of lack of effort. I was invested in beauty school because they said that starting salaries were $25,000 and you would make that much and it would just keep growing if you had better employees and you charge more for your better clients and you charge more for your haircuts and you worked more hours, that it was this infinite building career and you could control it. But that really wasn't the reality. The reality was that when you started, you had to start minimum wage as an apprentice, work for a year till you got your chair, work countless hours behind the chair, countless hours still assisting. You had to earn promotions. You had to work your butt off for just a little bit of a price increase. And even getting a 20% price increase, you lost clients then that didn't want to stick with you. So huge amounts of effort for every single promotion. And I got every single one the fastest you possibly could in those 7 years, aside from the year that I had a baby. And even in that, I had no guaranteed income for myself when I took the time off. I lost clients, I lost income. And if it had not been for Beachbody, I wouldn't have made enough money in those months coming back from doing hair. So this was kind of my path. When I found Beachbody, I was 3 months postpartum. I was suffering postpartum depression. I didn't really know it. I just knew I wasn't myself. I thought it was because of the weight, but realized through my fitness journey that it was so much more. So you can see this picture here, my first year as a coach. That is my first ever before I took after having a baby, and really never thought I would share that with anyone ever because I was so sad and broken and disgusted with myself and where I was starting from, and a year later where I ended up because of the Beachbody program. So here I am now 3 years later, almost in a few days. Ashley and I are celebrating, or maybe Ashley hit hers, and I'm about to hit my anniversary with Beachbody. And I'm a full-time coach. I quit my job. I got to leave doing hair. I got to weed out those days. I worked 3 long 12-hour days that gave me anxiety, that sucked, that didn't build me in the way I thought my career was going, that didn't offer me the income I was promised, and that I got stuck because I wanted to be management. I wanted to do more than just keep charging more and more for haircuts. I wanted to matter to a company. I wanted to matter to the people I was working with, and politics, or they weren't, the right kind of leaders for me, or whatever it was. I really don't know still sometimes to this day why it is I didn't grow more in that company, but it was not for lack of trying. And coaching provided that path for me. Coaching let me grow, let me work on myself inside and out. And I get to make my own promotions. I get to decide how much my income is. I get to decide my hours and when I work and what days I take off to be with my family. And because of it too, here I am now, postpartum, 6 months with my second baby, which you see in the pictures. My husband is very involved in our lives and gets to come home on his lunches, and we get to be here together as a family every single day because I'm a coach full time now. We make our own schedule. We make more money than I did as a hairdresser, and it really just was a better fit for me as a way of making money than being an employee for someone else.
That's awesome. I love it when she tells that story, because I got to see it happen. We all got to see it happen. Okay, the next way you can make money is by being self-employed. And when I went to college, I knew I never wanted to work for someone because I could kind of see that path that Lindsay was saying. And I was like, I'm not the person that just gets promoted. I'm kind of the quiet, shy one that kind of works as an underdog. I don't naturally just have people like point to me and say, her. And I didn't like that. I wanted to be in control, so I wanted to be self-employed. And this could be something like a photographer. I started a lot of businesses. That was the main one. You could be a service provider, like just anything that you weren't working for necessarily, like for a salon. Let's say you could be self-employed and a hairdresser. I know some people like cut hair out of their house. You could start an Etsy shop. You could be a baker. You could be a wedding planner. Do lawns, have a lawn company, anything like that. Now, the great thing is there's no 9 to 5. I don't have to clock in, clock out when I'm self-employed. You set your own prices. So like Lindsay was saying, with hairdressing, it's kind of almost a little bit of a hybrid. She got, some of that self-employed. You set your own prices. Like, if you don't have to say like, this is what the company said it is. If you think you can charge more, you can charge more. The next is you get creative control. You don't have to go to extra school. You get all the glory. But here's the best one. You become really well-rounded because you are customer service, you are shipping, you are product and development, you are marketing, you are the everything. Well, here's the bad parts. There's no 9 to 5. Do you know how many times when I was a photographer and it was Thanksgiving or Christmas that I just wanted to shut my brain off? I did not want people texting me, calling me, emailing, say, hey, we really need a print of this picture now so that we can go on our Thanksgiving trip or on our Christmas trip and give it to a gift. I wanted them to have ordered it 3 months ago because I wanted a 9 to 5. You don't get that. And your income is limited by the market and by manpower. You can't just charge whatever. You can say that, but you can't. There's no rest. It's everything all the time. You get all the glory, you get all the blame. And let me just tell you, sometimes that is heavy. It's so, so personal. There is a lot of sacrifice. And even though you don't have the man as a boss, you have lots of bosses, and it's all of your clients. Here's a little glimpse. We saw Lindsay in the salon, a little glimpse of my self-employed entrepreneurial life. This is my family of 7. My little ones, well, everybody's a little older now. Funny thing is, when I took this picture, that dress is so pretty, but it would not zip in the back. So it was unzipped during this picture. I remember that. This is kind of what our life was like before Beachbody. We were photographers. So we had Redbox Photo, that was a portrait brand. We had a wedding brand. We had a beauty app that was featured on the Today Show, at the top of the iTunes charts, in lots of magazines. We had a photo booth company. Our photography company was featured on the Dr. Phil Show. I mean, we started a lot of businesses and we had a lot of success. But we got so burnt out that we thought we have to find another path. So my husband actually went back to school as a nurse. So we were running all these businesses together while he went back to school at age 30. To have just an alternate path that if we wanted to fall back on, we could. And as things progressed, I kind of got smarter and smarter, and I realized I don't want to be the service provider. I don't want to be the one that's showing up to weddings, shooting the weddings. I want to be the one that creates the business and is in charge of it, but has other people help with, like, do the services. So that's like when I started a photo booth business. I started to think, okay, this is really good. I can be the one in charge. I can send people out. They can do the events, but still I was getting texts the whole time, calls when things broke and that kind of thing. So when you're a business owner, you have several options. So again, this is you being the head, and then you have other people that work for you that help provide income. So it's less of your manpower, and it's kind of like more of a trickle down. You have a force. You need to think bigger. This is bigger than being self-employed. This is like the Etsy business that no longer are they making the handmade jewelry. They now have employees that are making their handmade jewelry, and they are the boss. You can franchise business opportunities. With our photo booth business, we have 2 franchises still. And if you want to ask me, the ultimate business opportunity is multi-level marketing. And I quoted Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad earlier about the assets and the losses. And he's like a guru and how to make money. And he's the one who introduced me to these different ways. The employee, the self-employed, the business owner, and then the last one I'm going to share later. But he's like, multi-level marketing, that is where it is. Multi-level marketing is simply a compensation plan and a business structure where you are the business owner. My last hurrah, just to give you a little piece of kind of like business experience, was a company called Vendorlust, where basically I was like, this is it. This is going to be my big, like, $1 million idea. I invested 2 years of my life, over $20,000. And after 2 years, the web developers they sold the company, but not our project, and they filed personal bankruptcy. So you can get burned for sure at every angle. And one of the reasons I love being part of this coaching experience is that I didn't have millions of dollars for lawyers when this happened. I love now being part of something that has that type of, we have the flexibility, but the force. So after that happened with that big company fall through, I decided I needed a redo. I need a fresh start. My family literally shut down all of our businesses. We packed up our car. We randomly ran into our moving truck at a gas station on the way up, which is really weird, but I took a picture. And we decided no more business. I'm done. I'm sick of being self-employed. I don't want to do this. This is miserable. And we moved from Florida to South Carolina. I noticed my friend's post. She had actually been our family babysitter that would watch our kids when we would go and photograph weddings. And I had just moved away from all my family. I was very lonely. I needed control over my life. I was in a little apartment with 7 kids, or I don't have 7 kids, 5 kids and a dog, family of 7. And I was like, I just need help. And so I had seen Shay's post. She used to, like I said, babysit her kids, and her transformation pictures. And I was like, what are you doing? And I asked her for 4 months, what are you doing? I think I want to do it. I need something like this. And I kept telling her no, no, no. All right. And I had this little screen capture I found where basically I was like, hey, I'm really interested in what you do, but I don't want to spend more than $100 on it. So yeah, sounds really good, but basically I'm too cheap. And then I said, can you let me know the least expensive option so I can have that in mind? I think the accountability is what I really need. Well, on July 31st, just had my 3-year coaching anniversary, Shay made this post and it said, feeling blessed today. On Thursday, it's Beachbody Paycheck Day. You know, this is great. I'm doing something I love, getting into the best shape. I'm helping others, you know, and I get paid for it. I was like, oh, she gets paid for this? Okay. What if I did what she did and I got abs like she did, and then I got a paycheck every Thursday like she did? Okay, that sounds good and that sounds fun, and it sounds like it would keep me accountable. So I was a little motivated by the money, but my only goal was to make $75 a month so that I could hire a house cleaner. And I thought, I get in shape, I share my story, other people want to get in shape because I'm going to make it really fun, and then I make $75 a month and I get a house cleaner. Hello? And it worked, guys. It worked for the first time in my life. I danced 6 days a week. When I was younger, I was captain of the basketball team. I played sports since I was 5 years old. But I never, on the left, that's my before. That's the skinniest, lowest weight I had ever been, ever. Most of my life, I was 15 to 30 pounds more. So that was the skinniest, but I was thinning. I was like just fat and bone. There was nothing strong about me. And so it blew me away that those results were duplicated. What I saw my coach Shay get, I got strong and I got healthy too. And although I had sworn off business, the unexpected happened. I fell in love with the business side. And I mean like a lot. Like Twilight lovers, obsessed a lot. And I broke my promise to never start a new business venture again. But this time, no rat race. I decided to become a business building coach. Make it more than that $75 a month. So I looked behind the curtain and now I want to share with you. So I'm going to pass it off. Let's see if Helen is able to.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to pass it off to Helen to share a little bit about the history of Beachbody and some of the components.
All right. Hi, everybody. So I'm Helen Morrison, and I am also a coach. Just to give you a little background on Beachbody, and then I'll give you some background on me. Beachbody's company started in 1998. It was founded by Carl Deichler and John Congdon. And at first, they were just kind of like an infomercial. They were infomercial guys. And they had these ideas to get started with some fitness programs, and they did that. So I don't know how much you have ever heard of Beachbody. When I first got started, I hadn't heard much. And all of this history of Beachbody is not necessarily something you have to be super familiar with to be a great coach, but we just want to give you a little background. So you can look there on the timeline. You can see some of the products that they launched. Originally, it was just a lot of fitness DVDs. Some trainers that you might recognize there. You see Tony Horton. A lot of people are familiar with P90X. That was the only Beachbody point of reference I had, and I didn't even know it was a Beachbody program. I had just heard of P90X and knew people who had purchased the program. I didn't even really know the results they got, so I had no background before starting with Beachbody. I had no background of knowledge about Beachbody, but just to give you a little here. So they went on over the years, creating more fitness programs and just kind of ramping up the business. You want to change it to the next slide. So then a little more recent, some of these things you may have heard of as well. Some more fitness programs continue to come out, but also a big part of the Beachbody business was the introduction of Shakeology. So Shakeology, we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a bit, but it's a big component of the coaching programs along with the fitness because it brings in really dense nutrition and a high quality ingredients in a shake form. Now, I'll say I was somebody who was pretty anti-shakes, but Shakeology is really, really different. Like I said, we'll talk about that in just a minute. But as we go through all these different programs were coming out, people were getting incredible results. People were sending in their before and afters, and it was pretty obvious that that the programs that were put together by Beachbody worked. And I guess I missed it on the last slide, but Beachbody in 2000 actually decided to launch the coaching program, which is the Team Beachbody aspect, rather than just being this Beachbody system. Now they brought in this team aspect. And since then, all of these programs that have come out, coaches have been able to utilize these fitness programs, utilize the nutrition plans, the Shakeology to help people really make a huge change in their lives in the area of health and nutrition. And even as we're talking about right now, in the area of financial aspect is providing for their family and business. So now I got involved with Beachbody almost 2 years ago, but there have been a lot more programs that have been released. And like I said, every year, more and more results just keep rolling in. And the cool thing is that Beachbody has basically gone out and found the best of the best personal trainers, the best of the best nutritional components, the best of the best nutritionists and people to put together meal plans and all these different things. You can see the little containers there on the bottom, about halfway over on the screen. This container system, we call it the portion fix. And essentially, it's a way for people to be sure that they are getting the nutrition that they need without weighing every single item of food and counting every macro and counting every calorie. It's just a really, I kind of call it like nutrition for dummies. Anybody can follow that plan and it works. And it's not just something that makes you lose weight. It's something that really truly helps you get healthier. So just to give you a little background about me and one of the reasons that I love Beachbody, I actually am a fitness instructor. I've been teaching yoga for 10 years. I have a 500-hour certification with that. I was even teaching the teacher trainings for yoga. And since then, I also teach cycling and bar as well, just a little bit here on the side. But my true passion was yoga. But kind of going back to the fitness programs, you know, I have people coming to my classes all the time. I love helping people. I love teaching classes. It's totally my passion. When I started my yoga, I was single. I wasn't married. I didn't have any kids. And so it was something I could do all day, every day. I just did it because it was fun. I was a full-time teacher on the side. Well, I guess I was a full-time teacher and I taught yoga on the side, but my passion was yoga. So that to me was what I was kind of like living for. It was just like something that I loved, something that I was good at, and something that helped me help people, which is something I've always wanted to do. So fast forward a little bit, I got married and we moved across the country. I live in Arizona now. And I was pregnant. And when I got pregnant, we knew that we wanted to have me home with my babies. So the plan was for me to transition to just teaching yoga. And so I quit my full-time job and I was teaching yoga. But if any of you are in the fitness world, or if you're not, just to give you a little sneak peek, because I know there are a lot of people who ask me all the time, how did you get into teaching yoga? How did you get into teaching fitness classes? That's something I want to do. I'll tell you this right now. It is extremely rewarding, but you do not make any money unless you become someone who is a famous trainer, or you get a ton of personal private clients, which is very difficult because people have to pay you a lot of money to meet with you privately. It's very difficult. I will say, when I was teaching, before my son came along, when I was teaching yoga, what is considered full time, some days I could teach a max of 5 classes in a day, but I will tell you that I would start at 6 a.m. teaching my first class, and my last class of the day would be at 6 p.m. And because a class is usually an hour, and then you have a break in between, there was a lot of time where I technically wasn't being paid, but I was sort of sitting around because there wasn't enough time to actually get anything done for my life. So it was just like a 12-hour work day, but I'd get paid maybe $30 a class. And if I taught 5 classes, $150 for 12 hours, it's not great. But I didn't care because I loved it. And it was like a time in my life that I didn't have to worry so much about the money. I just did it for fun. But I will say too, one thing, if you are a fitness instructor, a lot of fitness instructors will tell you that their own fitness often suffers, or if they're a yoga instructor, their own yoga practice suffers, because after you've taught 5 classes in a day, which is honestly extreme, mostly you're going to teach 3, and that's about all you can physically handle for more than a few days in a row. But I would teach, and you're so exhausted, you can't work out for yourself. You can't go and take care of yourself. You're just giving, and really the payback is small financially. It's rewarding, like I said, but financially it's not much. So when I was quitting my full-time job, we had my son coming along. My husband was just kind of getting started in his career. It was important for us that I be home with the baby, but we also weren't sure what we were going to do as far as income. So I had my baby, and I think right after he was born, the business opportunity of coaching was brought to me. And to be honest, I just immediately kind of dismissed it, thinking I'm way too busy. I don't even know what that is. That doesn't make any sense, because I just didn't understand the world of online networking, and even I wasn't very present on social media in general, other than maybe posting a picture of my baby from time to time. And so Ashley, who is actually the one who introduced me to the coaching opportunity, invited me to kind of check out a webinar like this. And I just ignored it, and I just continued on my mom life. And then I just began to watch her on social media, and I saw that she was growing this business, and I saw that she was getting incredible results for herself, for her own health and fitness. And then I also saw that she had her husband, who I knew that they were a large family that needed an income to be able to provide for all those kids. Her husband was going to basically be all but quitting his job, like just staying on a day or two, I believe. And I thought to myself, how in the world is she coaching people online in health and fitness? She doesn't even have any kind of fitness degree, to my knowledge. How is she doing that, getting people results and making this huge income? So I was just really curious, because here I was dragging the baby back and forth 2 or 3 times a day to the yoga studio. And it was really tough, but I had to do it because we needed the income. And it was also something that I was good at. It was a skill that I had, and I really enjoyed it. I loved to be able to help people. So it was an outlet, but it was quickly burning me out because it was too much. So moving beyond that, I then messaged Ashley and I asked her, what she was doing. And she told me, and I thought, okay, basically I looked at the opportunity, and there's really technically no investment. I mean, I would be purchasing like what we call a challenge pack, like a kit of my own for my own health and fitness. And I thought, okay, I can do that. And then if I didn't want to coach, or if it wasn't for me, I knew I didn't lose anything. I didn't have to get a small business loan. I didn't have to go to school or get a certification or pay for this big nutrition course or anything like that. I could just try it. So I thought, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to give it a try. And I was probably a few days into the group that I was a part of, and I immediately knew this is something that I had to do. like I said, I love to help people. I saw what was going on in these groups and the excitement people had about making a change in their health and fitness. And I thought, I have to be a part of this, and I can do it from my house. I don't have to teach 2 to 3 classes every single day and drag my baby all around anymore. I can still teach classes, and I still do, but I cut down my schedule from about 10 classes a week, which is really hectic with a baby. And I now only teach, 3 classes a week. And it's perfect. I love it. And to be honest, most fitness instructors that you talk to would love to be able to only teach 2 or 3 classes a week, focus on their own health and fitness, but make enough money to have a sustaining income. And the truth of the matter is you cannot do that. As a fitness instructor, I'll tell you the maximum amount of money I ever made in 1 month was $2,000. And that's before taxes. And that was teaching my butt off. That was like exhausting my body to the point that I was so fatigued, I'd fall into bed every night, just done. And now I can teach a couple classes, and I have plenty of time if I want to take a class for myself. I have plenty of time to be with my son, so we can go to the park and we can go to the zoo and we can do whatever we want to do as he's growing up. I don't have to miss out on anything, and I don't have to drag him around as though he's the second priority over my teaching. So I started coaching. I had no idea what would happen. And I was really nervous. I was pretty scared to put myself out there on social media because I'd never done that before. But I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I thought to myself, if I do this for the next 10 years and it grows really, really slow, that's okay. Because right now my income is so small anyway, that if it starts to grow slow and eventually becomes bigger, that's fine. Like, this is something I love. This is something I'm passionate about. So we'll just give it a chance. Well, I didn't realize that all of my background in health and fitness, all of my passion for health and fitness that I had been sharing inadvertently for years because it was who I am, was something that everyone knew me for. That was what I was known for, and that was what people were looking to me for. And as soon as I said, okay, everybody, like, I'm launching my own online health and fitness coaching business, and I'm going to start doing some groups and doing this coaching, and like, more info to come. Immediately, I had a lot of people reaching out to me and responding to me and wanting that help and support. And one thing that you'll find out if you give this opportunity a chance is that you may have been just like me. You've been pumping your well for years because you have a passion for health and fitness. You love to work out. You're always, going to the gym, or maybe you also teach classes, or maybe you just love sharing those healthy recipes and finding new, paleo desserts or whatever it is. And you're sharing that all along the way. You've basically been paving the way for yourself to have a very successful business because you've been investing and giving basically free information to people. And as soon as you say, I want to help and I'm officially doing this, people are there waiting for help because everybody wants to be healthier. They just don't know how, and they're afraid to make a commitment on their own. So I started coaching, and immediately it took off. It was a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I will tell you, I still am, year and a half in, and I don't know all the ins and outs of all the business. I don't understand every aspect of the financial plan, but you don't have to know everything and understand everything to get started. You don't have to do a huge course on Beachbody and all the trainers and all the programs to be able to do this. You just have to have a heart that is willing to love people, to encourage people where they are, and to get started. And that's what I did. And knowing nothing about Beachbody, but just caring about people and loving health and fitness, I was able to just immediately start building my business. And immediately, my very first month, my income was higher than all my months of teaching classes as a mom. Like I said, $30 a class. Maybe at a really high-end fitness studio, there have been some classes I've gotten paid $50 for the class, but you usually have to be there 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after, and there's the drive, and it just takes a lot out of you. So my very first month, I was like, wow, this is a better income, and I'm at home working during nap time. At the time, my son, I think, took 2 naps a day, and I maybe got in an hour and a half of work, but every day I did it and I put the time in. And I just knew that this is something that I would have to just continue to do. And since then, I've seen hundreds of women have amazing transformations, which is something I never saw in any of my classes. in some of my classes, I've had students that have been with me for, 2, 5, 10 years now. And I've seen their practice change. I've seen them be able to maybe start to do a handstand or something, but I've never seen their health transform. I've never seen their life transform or their physical body transform. But with coaching, in 30 days or less sometimes, I see people go from sick and depressed, digestive issues, and all of these things to feeling amazing, losing 5 to 20 pounds, crazy things that I never thought were possible. And the tools are all there for me to use. I didn't have to come up with it all. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. I didn't have to basically create my business from scratch. All I had to do was say yes and give it a chance. And I am forever grateful that I did. And like I said, I've seen hundreds of lives of women and their families totally change and transform. And it's just so simple. It does take work. You do have to be consistent and put the time in. But no matter what job you have, that's the case. You don't get a paycheck for doing nothing. And so even in this business, just signing up and saying yes isn't what makes it work. It's your heart, it's your passion, and it's your consistent effort. And if you have a heart and a passion for health and fitness, I tell all of my friends in the health and fitness world who ask me about what I'm doing that they just have to give this a chance. Because if you open your heart to see what this is about, you will definitely fall in love with all that is Beachbody and all that is available to you through the community, through the support, and through all the resources that they have. So I guess, do you want to move on to the next slide? So moving on, just as far, like I mentioned, I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. Though I have had a long history of passion and self-study when it comes to nutrition, I didn't have to sit down, or I don't have to sit down with every single client and come up with a whole plan and figure out what they need to do. I have these resources and these tools that Beachbody has provided that I can utilize and I can share with them. And we can, within those tools, kind of custom tailor a plan for them that's going to fit. So my favorite part of all of the Beachbody programs is the nutrition aspect, because I am so passionate about nutrition. Like I said, they have a plan called the Portion Fix, and you can see those colored containers there on the slide. Basically, just to make it simple for you, each color kind of represents a different, we'll say, food group, like healthy fats, fruits, veggies, proteins, carbs, things like that. And Beachbody has an incredible library of meal plans, all laid out. If someone wants to just know exactly every single step to follow, we have a meal plan that can fit anyone. And if they want to be creative and put together their own thing, then it can be a little less detailed, and they can just use their plan of how many portions of each food that they need, and they can make their own plan. So it's really great because it really can be tailored to everyone, every personality style, every people who like to cook, people who don't like to cook. There's just something for everyone. And I didn't have to come up with it. I don't have to put in the hours and have the nutritional degree to do it. I can just use these resources that I have. So from that as well, another component of the nutrition plan is Shakeology. And like I said a little bit back, I was really anti-shakes. I've had a lot of people, because I was a fitness instructor and in the world of health and fitness, approach me about doing other programs. And no offense if you've tried these, but Herbalife, Advocare, Isagenix, just to name a few, I've had all of those people reach out to me and try to get me involved in whatever they're selling. And I never wanted to sell anything. And in this program, I don't sell things. I invite people to be a part of a healthy lifestyle. And part of that is Shakeology. The more that I studied and learned about Shakeology, the more that I realized that this was not another protein shake. Shakeology is basically, to break it down, all raw foods that are bioavailable to the body, meaning that they're still in that like whole food form. So when you eat or you drink Shakeology, your body is able to absorb all the nutrients just as though you were to have a big bowl full of veggies. But the great thing about Shakeology is that the nutritional content is so high because of the specific ingredients that they've put together, that you are getting so much nutrition in one glass that you couldn't possibly consume that much food in a day and get the quality of nutrition that they're offering through Shakeology. It's clinically proven to help in weight loss, lower cholesterol levels, blood sugar levels, and even recently they've been showing some of the studies they've done that it actually helps curb appetite. And not because of some special magic ingredient or some kind of weird weight loss pill, but really just because you're feeding your body with such high quality foods that your body doesn't have anything left to crave. It's getting everything it needs. So Shakeology is basically just like real food in a glass. And the great thing about it is if people have a struggle with cutting out sugar or really craving dessert, with Shakeology, it's as though you're getting a dessert. It's like you can make it a milkshake, a fruit smoothie, you can make it into ice cream, you can make it into a muffin. I mean, you can utilize your Shakeology in so many different ways. So people who are really needing to have something to help them get off of sugar, Shakeology is an amazing supplement, an amazing replacement for all of that stuff. And not just a replacement, but it's literally giving your body more nutrition than most people will get in a week or more. So that's kind of a little bit about Shakeology. As far as the other products that Beachbody offers, they also recently came out with the performance line. And as somebody who's in the fitness world, I know a lot of people who are drinking all kinds of performance pre-workout, post-workout, all these supplements that are full of junk, artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, and just artificial colors. I mean, all kinds of things that are just weird ingredients you do not want to be putting in your body. But at the same time, when you work out and when you're very athletic, you need something that's going to replenish your system, that's going to repair your muscles. And Beachbody's performance line is incredible. It's all natural sweeteners, some with stevia, some with like beet sugar, things like that. But if you look at the ingredients on the performance line, you're going to be very impressed. And not only that, it's also NSF certified. So if you do have somebody who truly is an athlete, it's okay for any kind of competitive sports and things like that. And it really has helped people just kind of ramp up their results if they're really serious about fitness and things like the different programs that we offer. And then just as of this summer, another aspect of the nutritional portions of Beachbody that was released is called Daily Sunshine. And Daily Sunshine is a 3-in-1 kind of smoothie mix, and it's geared towards kids. Anyone can drink it, but it's dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, and things like that. It's pediatrician approved, and it basically provides protein, probiotics, and then fruits and veggies. So it's a great way to help kids get the things that they need. Because if any of you have kids, you know they can often be picky eaters, and what they want is carbs and snacks. And this is a great way to give them something that tastes delicious, but feeds their body and helps them just to continue to grow healthy and strong, which as a mom is really important to me. Is that the last slide there? Okay, so I think we went through those. All right, and I think that's it. I'm going to pass it back to you, Ashley.
Yeah, that was amazing, Helen. We love it when Helen speaks because you just hear her passion. It's just natural. And she has always really loved health and fitness, but a lot of us haven't. I mean, I had, but I fell off the fitness wagon for 10 years. And so you're going to have all different types of coaches, and they're going to be all different types of people. Some of the most successful coaches in this business are ones that weigh, 200 pounds because they are a daily inspiration. So it's both your strengths that you're going to lead with, but also your biggest struggles, whatever that is. And with the Daily Sunshine, I will say that's brand new. It's an organic, kids smoothie, like super, super clean. And I bought some recently for my kids, thinking I have 5 kids. I'm just going to split it between them, give them each like 2 portions a week to save money, honestly. But recently, one of my sons has had a gut blockage that he had to get an x-ray for. And then it's like spurred on major behavioral problems. And I'll tell you, when you're calling medical professionals and you're getting x-rays and your child's health and their well-being is in big danger, then you go for the best. And so all of a sudden that healthy snack that I was going to let my kids have twice a week, it's like every single day. It's organic, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, no artificial sweeteners, no, it's not processed. And so that is what you want to give your kids the best. And it's just been really interesting to see, when it really matters, what are you going to do? And I'll tell you, this is what I did. So I'm very, very thankful. And it opens up a whole new market for like people, moms, honestly, moms. So the next component of what we do as coaches and what we have to offer as coaches is peer support. Oops. And one of the ways we do this is through online accountability groups, which we call challenge groups. We, through Beachbody, have a private tracker app that we get access. So it's on your phone and you get access to it once you become a coach. You put your clients on there, they log their workouts, they track things, you do interaction, you can post videos. It's really, really amazing. You can also leave them in Facebook. I'm gonna go real quickly. This is just a snapshot of Kelly, one of the clients that then became a coach. And she was like super real in the challenge group. She's like, yeah, it didn't work out today. Yeah, thought about drinking Shakeology and working out, but then I just drank my shake because that's easier. And she just was like really real, but she had that accountability and support. And because she had it there, even though it took her months and months to kind of like help it click and put it, the fitness with the nutrition, it happened. And she lost weight and she's like overcome depression. And now she has a really, really thriving business. Okay, so now we're going to look at what does a coach actually do. We talked about Team Beachbody and what that looks like, what the components are, the fitness, the nutrition, the peer support. Now, what do we actually do as individuals, as coaches? One of the things that we do is we share our life so that we share our story, how people can change their lives. We just real. Like I said, I wanted to share my story. I thought maybe some people will think it was fun and they would join me. And that's exactly what we do. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Beth, and she's going to share a little bit how she has used coaching as a platform to share her story and how that in turn has built her business. Beth, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hey everybody, I'm Beth Creek, and I am coming up on my 3-year anniversary of coaching this October, which is super exciting. So this picture, this is me with my 2 babies who are now 3 and 5. So this picture was taken not too long before I became a coach, just several months before. So at this time, I was a really private person as far as sharing things on social media. I had, after my husband and I got married, I had multiple miscarriages. I had 5 miscarriages. And then we were also foster parents during that time. And we had a newborn baby who came to our house from the hospital. And for 7 months, we were his foster parents. And of course, in our hearts, it really felt like that he was ours. And we were told we were going to get to adopt him. And then suddenly a distant relative came forward. And after 7 months, he went to live with them. So I went through a lot of difficulties, a lot of, really hard times. And I really was not open about sharing it. I did not want to share it. I didn't want to be vulnerable. So I didn't really talk about those things or share them on my social media. But thank God he gave me my 2 miracle babies. And but because of what I had been through, it caused me to have postpartum OCD after they were born. It was especially really bad after my second baby, my little boy, was born. Postpartum OCD, I'd never heard of it, but it causes really severe anxiety, intrusive thoughts, depression. So there were a lot of days when my mom and my sister would come over and they would have to help me take care of the kids because I could hardly even get out of bed. I could hardly eat. I could hardly drink because I had so much anxiety. And so I actually lost all of the baby weight, and then because I couldn't eat. But then when I started to get better, I gained every single pound back. So I, gained during pregnancy, lost it all, gained it all back. And after I gained it back when I started doing better from the postpartum OCD and coming through that. So after I was kind of on the other side of the worst of the postpartum OCD, doing better, that's when I became a coach. And it truly, it caused in me, like I had a desire to share my life, to start being more vulnerable, to share what I had been through, to not just keep it to myself, because I really had a heart for encouraging other women, for sharing my hope, for showing that you can have joy again and happiness and hope. And so since then, I've been able to connect with so many women. It's just been so amazing, the connections that I've had, the women that I've been able to help, and they help me as well. And being a coach, really, to me, it is so much more than just a job. It's really a passion. It's a ministry, and it has added so much to my life and really helped me in my journey. You can go to the next slide now. And so the next picture, these are more recent pictures. And so these are just showing me just truly loving life, just thankful for what God has restored, how he has given me back my laughter and my joy, and just brought me so far. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the second thing that is really imperative to success as a coach, and that is being committed to being proof that the products work. And so all that means is just simply that we as coaches, we use the fitness programs, we exercise, we follow the fitness plans, we follow the nutrition plans, we use the nutritional supplements, we drink Shakeology every day. Maybe I love to drink Energize, which is a pre-workout drink that helps me push during my workout, that we actually use the products and we lead with our journey, with our story. We share it so that people can see in us our personal life change, how our bodies are changing, but even more than that, also on the inside, we're changing in our attitudes. And instead of people seeing us as a salesperson, when we really share our journey through using these products, they're seeing that these tools really are incredible, that we're getting healthier, that we're getting stronger, and that we truly believe in what we're doing. Now I'm going to pass it off to Jessica, and she's going to share the third thing that is imperative to success as a coach.
Hey everybody, I'm really excited to talk about this subject because it was one of the things that when I became a coach, I, for one, had no idea that I would be doing. I didn't know that it was a part of coaching. And it was one of the things that I was like, and that kind of like, ain't nobody got time for that type thing. So it's personal development, and it sounds a little silly, but it's one of my favorite parts of coaching now. So it's really one of the most important things that we do as a coach, and that's just improving and developing ourselves. So we do this through reading, personal development books. We could do audiobooks. I do a ton of audiobooks because I still don't have time, but I make it work. Podcasts, anything that we can do to really put good into our minds and better ourselves internally every day. That's what we do as coaches. So when my coach told me to, listen to an audiobook, I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm going to do that when I have time because I'm starting working on a new business, But really, I really did listen to that first audiobook. I got hooked, and I realized how much it really changed my mindset and how I felt and my motivation level. And I was just like, wow, this is really awesome how I feel when I'm listening to personal development versus when I'm not. I didn't realize that difference because I hadn't read a book since, like a decade, since I've been in school or something, in college. I hadn't read a book, I'm embarrassed to say. But now, since becoming a coach, not even a year and a half, I've read over 40 books or listened on audiobook to over 40 books. And I'm totally hooked. I mean, I've just grown so much. I've learned so much. It just really makes you feel like you have something to offer. to other people. And then another thing I'll tell you is that a few months ago, well, I guess maybe 3.5 months ago now, I went through a really hard time, a time when my mom, who battled with depression her entire life, she took her own life. And so that was a super hard time for me, obviously still is. But I sometimes think, like, what if I didn't have the tools that I have now? Like, what if I had never become a coach and realized, like, the things that I can do to stay in a good mindset myself, even through the most difficult times? And it's like the most unexpected parts of being a coach are those things that have kind of saved me. And that is, like, not only my team, who become like my family, and they all supported me so much. I mean, honestly, people like extended out on our team who I've never even spoken to one-on-one before then were like sending me cards and things in the mail. So that support, but then the personal development. So I knew, like, okay, I'm going to put those headphones in. I'm going to put that audiobook in, whatever I'm struggling with at the time. I'm going to press play on my workout, and this is going to get me back into the right mindset. And I might have to do that every single day, but I was already doing that every single day. So I know that it works. And I know that I have that thing, like, I have to put good into my mind every day to stay in that good mindset. And otherwise, I might be like laid up on the couch right now in a depression myself. But I know what to do because I have the tools and I know that it works. So I just feel like personal development is key, and it's like a gift that I was given as a coach. And I make time for it now because I can see that difference in me, my own attitude and everything, when I'm doing it versus when I'm not. So that's one of the big things we do as a coach, and we get very inspired. So this is kind of how it all works. So we get really inspired. We work on bettering ourselves every day through fitness and health and personal development, so that internal and external changes that we're seeing as we go on our journey. And we inspire other people. So you kind of see how it works, where we will inspire a few people, and then in turn, those people will start on their own journey and they'll start inspiring a few people, and it just kind of grows from there. So you start to see how it spreads and grows, and it's kind of like contagious, and everybody's inspiring each other. And then you kind of see the structure, and you start to think, wait a minute, like, is this one of those pyramid scheme things I've heard about? You know, that's what everybody kind of, there's this weird stigma because people don't really understand what the difference between a pyramid scheme and a network marketing or multi-level marketing company is. So, I mean, if you think of a traditional business or organization, you're going to have the CEO at the top. You're probably going to have a president, vice president, managers, supervisors, employees. You may be one of those things right now. And you know that everyone above you determines where you go, what you get paid, when you work, what you do while you're working, probably what you wear while you're working, and if you're ever going to move up or not, right? I've been there myself, and it's not a great place to be, I gotta tell you. So that is a pyramid, though. That's a pyramid, right? So if you're thinking that kind of structure, then yeah, it's probably similar to that in the look of it in a pyramid, but it's not a pyramid scheme. So what it basically is, if you will, it's kind of like a bunch of CEOs who are giving the resources to other CEOs to open their own franchises, if you will. So you get all the support of somebody who's been there and is doing it and kind of went before you, but you don't have a boss. There's no CEOs. There's no managers. There's no supervisors. There's nobody telling you what to do, when to work, how long you should work. It's all your business, yet you have that support that you don't get in a traditional business. Take it from me, I know, because I've had my own freelance web design business for years, and I've been all alone in that, and would have really loved the support of somebody who went before me to tell me what I need to do and how to do it and give me all the secrets, but then let me do it my way. So that's more of what this is CEOs helping you open another franchise. It's not a pyramid scheme. So let's get into how you actually make money. So there's a lot of ways that you can make money as a coach. I mean, it gets big in bonuses, a lot of different bonuses and things, but let's start by going over the most basic ways. So first, you're going to make a 25% commission on anything that your customers buy from you. So it kind of works like this. You're talking to people as a coach. Your job is really to find out what the needs of your customers are and then pair that with a solution. And you have all the solutions, like Helen talked about, all the tools. You have the fitness programs, you have Shakeology, you have Daily Sunshine, you have the performance line, you have all the tools at your disposal to pair people with. Anything that your customers buy, you're going to make a 25% commission on. Now, there's certain things that you really want in a product if you're going to be selling it, and you want it to be a necessity, right? You want it to be in high demand, and you want it to be highly consumable, which means that people are always going to need more of it. They always run out and they need more. It's not something that they can keep for 10 years and it just stays there and they never need any more of it. So what's the most common thing that we can all think of that is consumable and we need more of? Food, right? That's the first thing that's always on my mind is food. So that's where it comes in, Shakeology, plus the performance line, and now Daily Sunshine, which is amazing. These are all consumable products which create residual income in our business as coaches. So basically what happens is that people get paired with Shakeology or the performance line, maybe athletes that were already athletes before, they need the performance line like Helen was talking about, or Shakeology. We all need Shakeology every day. Now Daily Sunshine for our kids, and they fall in love. And these products get set up on a 30-day auto ship. So you get a 30-day supply and you consume it every day and people fall in love with it and how it makes them feel. And then they can't wait for their next shipment to come. So it ships every month, and then you can see how it kind of starts to build a residual income here in this chart. So say month 1, you help 3 customers, even if you just help 3. And then assuming they fall in love with Shakeology like everyone else. And then month 2, maybe you help 3 more people, but now that's 6 people that you have on Shakeology who then the next month are still going to get their Shakeology while you help maybe just 3 more people. So you can see how that kind of starts to build your residual income over time. It just starts to build up. So I'm going to pass it back to Ashley now so she can talk about the next part in building a team.
Thank you so much. All right, so the next way that you can build, that you make income is by building a team of coaches. When you decide to build a team, you're actually doing 2 things. Let me make sure I'm off mute. Yeah. You're giving someone the highest level of accountability with their health and fitness, and you're giving them the most ultimate experience of a life-giving community. So it's a holistic change. So that's number 1, is you're giving someone holistic change because they're committing more than just a client, right? They're still committing to their health, their fitness, a community, but even more. The second thing is you're acquiring basically a business asset. We've used the word franchise a lot, and that's not what we call it in coaching, but it's, I think, what makes sense if we are going to be just creating parallels within, business world. So every time you have someone decide to start their own health and fitness business and join you on your team, they're not working for you, you're just their mentor, but it is like acquiring a new franchise because you are then in charge of getting them started in the business, showing them the ropes, being their mentor, introducing them to our greater coaching collective. Now, this makes you basically become not only a business owner, like we said, because we talked about the different types of ways to make money, employee, self-employed, business owner, but you're also become an investor in this way because now when somebody joins your team, right, and they're starting their own business, you have their best interests. Like, that's what you need. You want them to do well, just as if you were investing in a business. And what does an investor do? They don't go around and they're not like on the ground. So when someone joins your team, they become a coach in your team. You're not like in their business, like doing it for them. You're enabling them to create their own business, just like an investor would do the same. And the great thing about being an investor, it's like the highest level, best way to make income is you have residual and passive income, because you're not all in it. You're just investing in it. You have varied risks. So it's not like when I have a franchise with my photo booth company, I had one franchise at first, and now I have two. Well, if one does bad, then half my business is out. If two do poorly, the whole thing's out. With coaching, you build a lot of franchises. So lots and lots of coaches, will join you over the years. And you have varied risks. So let's say one doesn't do well. Okay. If you have 700, it's okay if one doesn't do well, right? So varied risks. And you're building your assets. You're continually helping more people as an investor. Now remember, assets create money. When someone joins your team as a coach, they're producing income for you. It's like you've invested in a business. You invest in them, and as a result, you're compensated, because that's fair, right? You're investing in them. But it's cool because it's not in a competitive way. Like, they're not going to, nobody can come take your job. Now your coach, somebody that joins you, they can make more money than you. That's something that's very unique to the way that Beachbody and coaching works, is somebody can make more money than you. I make about the same amount as my coach that's above me. I could surpass her in income. So that's a really cool thing, is it's not like, oh, well, you started here, so you can't. But this is how any larger business works, as far as being compensated for training someone, right? It's just that Beachbody has made the structure and the training so easy. So you don't have to be an expert to start building a team, because we do it as a team and we have resources. Now, here's something my dad taught me. He's an investment banker. He manages other people's portfolios. A good investment will yield a 6 to 8% return if you're doing really, really, really well. Like a certificate of deposit, something like that. Like their return is like 1%. Like really, really, really low. So a great investment would be a 6 to 8% return. Now, let's say my time is worth $20 an hour. If you spend 2 hours per new coach that signs up, like talking to them, helping give them the ropes, I'm presenting a webinar, getting them ready. That's a $40 investment in a new coach, right? If my time's worth $20 and I spent $40. Now, my coach, Lindsay, that was speaking today, she's made me at least $1,000 this year. Now, I don't go and I don't look at the figures and add up, everything like that, but at least. That's a 2,500% return on my investment in time. And it wasn't even an investment in money. It was just in time to get her started. 2 hours that I spent to help her get signed up 3 years ago. Right? Huge. Now I continually invest in her and my time, but man, what a great investment. And like I said, remember how I mentioned that a 6 to 8% return was good? And we're talking about a 2,500% return. Where is the risk? You tell me. You guys, you have to know something about me. I am 100% passion in art and feeling and creativity, and I'm 100% logic and business and show me the sense of it all. It's my mom, the artist, and my dad, the investment banker. We have a culture of integrity and success within our coaching collective. Our entire goal as a team is so that you succeed. I don't know if you could tell because you can't see our faces on here, but we as a team, we have become we're really, really, really good friends. We love each other a lot and we help each other. We do this together. So let me just kind of show you some of the coaches in our collective. So this is me, my income. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because it's not going to make total sense. So I'll go through it quickly. But as a brand new coach, I'm making just the commissions. Remember the 25% commission. So I made $82, this retail commission, $82 there. And then this fast start bonus, that was just a different way of signing somebody up and getting commission. So about it's $102.49. That's for 1 week. In my second month, I made, it looks like 90 plus 64. So I made about $150 in commissions. But then I started building a team. Lindsay was like my first business building coach. So like she's joined my team like day 4. I was like, I see the promise in this business. I'm passionate about it. Lindsay, you got to look at this, okay? And I knew nothing, right? Nothing. But she started doing well. And so then 54 plus 19, about almost $75 was from building a team. Ooh, so 150 from my commissions, and then and then about 75 that second month from how my team was doing, basically like a franchise type thing. And then in my 5th month, now as a diamond coach, I made $387 or $84 in that 1 week. Now from my team, I made about $130. And from commissions that month, it looks like I made about $200. So I did well in commissions, but my team's growing too. 10th month, I'm now Star Diamond Coach, just the rank. And I made $500 from a team, right? Having a team. And then about $380. Well, actually this other $100 one, that's from growing a team too. So about almost $600 from growing a team and about $200. And then my husband, I signed him up first, like the first day, and his account started making money. So we got 2 paychecks and his was making $100 a week. So in 10 months, from paycheck 1, first week, to 10, I got a 368% raise. Yes. And this is a week in a glance. This is 3 years as a coach. So I did this, put this together a couple weeks ago. But now I get paid 3 paychecks because I have mine, I have my husband's, and I have a second business center. And that's something that as you build your business, you basically can duplicate yourself and almost split off and franchise yourself. It's pretty cool. And so for a week, $1,931. So if you want to do the math, and it fluctuates between about $1,800 now and like $3,000. Probably most of the week, I would say like $2,000 to $2,200 is basically like the average after 3. So if you want to multiply that by 52 weeks in the year to see about what my income is, but it's almost all from growing a team. Like this first paycheck right here was about $1,000 from my team, $50 off of commission. Then this one for my husband, it's $15 commission, $630 from a team. And this last one's like $165 from a team and like $65 or something from commission. So it's like, okay, I'm starting to see the pay it forward, right? So we have our clients that we're helping with the tools, but then we also have this business opportunity where we're able to help more people. So if I help like 3 to 5 clients a month, and then that's reaching 5 people. But then if I have coaches on my team that they're also helping 5 people, now because of something that I started with a passion, and shared this opportunity, now there's 10 people being helped, which is greater. This is Shay. I'm going to go through this real quick. So she's the coach that I joined just because I was watching her. I'm like, I want to get fit. I didn't know this is a business thing, but she quit her corporate job her full-time job after about a year. I'm not sure how far into it. I don't remember at this point. I think it was about after a year. She makes over $100,000 as well. She had a slow first 6 months. She built her business in the little pockets, like during lunch breaks and on the weekends. She's a new mom. This is Brittany. She's been doing this for 4.5 years. She started as a full-time nurse. Her husband was deployed, and so she was working like 17 hours a day on this business, which if you work more on this business, you're going to get paid more because you're going to grow if you're working on the right things. She makes like $11,000 a week now. Okay, because she put on those 17-hour days for 3 to 4 years. She just had a baby. And then here's Lindsay. She's been doing this 7 years. She started as a broke bartender, a new mom. She had amazing P90X results. She just shared. She was a proof the product works. She was the #1 coach a couple years ago. She makes $25,000 to $50,000 a week plus bonuses. And these bonuses can be anywhere between like depends on, the level she is. It's like that $65,000 to $75,000 a quarter. So, I mean, it's huge. Like when people watch this webinar, they're like, is this for real? Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to tell you. I know all these people. I work with them. It's true. But you can see the compound effect of over the years. It's not a get rich quick thing. I made $100 at first. Lindsay, I think, made like $50 the first month. It's not a get rich quick thing. It's something that pays off. Consistency pays off. Now, this is why now is the ideal time to become a coach. 1, we have the new and the best tools ever. The Daily Sunshine, out of this world. It opens up a huge mom market of moms that care more about their kids than they do about themselves. #2, we're expanding to the UK. And #3, because we're expanding to the UK, I need to share the science of a business. This is a little bit real quick about the life cycle of a business. At the beginning, the concept, the blue area, as a startup, it's slow. I mean, people don't know what in the world you're doing. It's like Post-it notes, what? Velcro, what? Pop-Tarts, what? No, Beachbody On Demand, Team Beachbody, Shakeology, what? Who knows? Like, no, I don't do those risky new things, right? But then you get some trendsetters, and they're like, oh, I see this. Like, I know what adaptogens are. I see that in Shakeology. I value, gluten-free, and I value that there's a vegan formula. I value that there's no processed foods or sugars and that it's all raw food. I know what adaptogens are, prebiotics. I know, what ashwagandha or maca root is. I read about that in, health journals. And so you get the trendsetters, and they're like, yes, I see that. Yes. You get the people that are like really want to get ripped and they're like doing P90X. But then you get all these people that are like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. And I don't do things that are, no. And then you grow. And then more and more people are like, okay, well, she's doing it, so I'll do it. And then you grow and you go and you see the slope up, up, up. And then you get around to the red part. And that's like the plateau. And that's where it's like, oh, that's old news. Yeah. I tried that for 2 weeks. And I was eating donuts and I didn't really work out, and it totally didn't work. Or yeah, I tried that for 3 months and I got the best results of my life. But then it seemed like it would be more fun to eat keto and go to this new kickboxing gym, because my best friend said they were going to go every day with me and give me a hug and a teddy bear. And so I want to just do the new thing, not the thing that actually gave you results. So then people kind of get bored and it kind of plateaus. And now around the orange part, you can see that business, when it gets going, it could just tank. It could be like, nope, there's not enough backing. There's not enough research. Then maybe there wasn't enough money. Well, Beachbody is beyond that point, okay? Where we are right now is at that peak. We're in that red part where it kind of plateaus. But here's the exciting thing. Is right after that is the rebirth. And so we in October are opening up, expanding as a company to the UK. All right. And so in the orange, this is where Canada opened up. So you can see we started, at the concept in 2007. And then a couple of years ago, Canada opened up and the business was whoosh, bam, huge, huge growth. Income's growing, amazing. Now we're kind of at the top. There hasn't been a new launch for 3 or 4, I think, since 2013, okay? But we're about to open up to the UK in October. And so the science, it's always these little mini bell curves, okay? So it's squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. So the UK, people that are just joining, it's their conception, their startup. So they're going to have to break into the market because people don't know what it is. They're going to have to warm them up. So that's going to be them in the blue. But for us in the US and Canada, we get both. We get to be at the top of a really well-oiled machine, but we also get to be at the rebirth, which is going back to the beginning where we are the new kid on the block. And the new kid at first is what? But then they're the most popular because they're so intriguing. And so this is why it is the best time now to, become a coach, because we're about to start that cycle, where it's here we go. It's really good. I get really excited about this. So why did you show up today? Well, maybe you're a caring individual. You love to help people. It gives you a lot of purpose. You could be a teacher, you could be a nurse, a mom. I mean, there's so many different types of careers you might be in, but it really matters who you are. But you love to help people, but you want to work from home. You like the flexible schedule. That'd be ideal, but you still want a ministry, something to help people. Or you could be a creative professional, or just somebody that in their heart is really creative. And you love the idea of using your creativity, like putting a different spin on health and fitness. And you also, like as a creative, you know, kind of could be like a zombie up at night doing creative stuff and you just don't work out, right? You're like eating pretzels and stuff like that. This would make you, come on, holistic, whole person. Or maybe you're a health and fitness professional, like we heard from Helen, and you want to help people, but you got to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You need to reach more people in a way that is more balanced for you. Or you might be a doctor. You might be a lawyer. You might be we have vice principals, physical therapists on our team, kind of like esteemed job positions where you've reached that success and it's like, okay, I did it, but I just want my life. I just want to be home. I just want to rest. I just want flexibility. And so you know you can achieve. And so being in an opportunity where you can achieve because that's an inside thing. It's a mindset, an inside thing. But also not having an income cap, like being able to like not start from the bottom of a new company, that's ideal. Now here's the obvious question. How do you make this work for you? Option 1, take what we've talked about and figure it out yourself. Like literally, we gave you so much information, different ways to make money, which is best for you. Figure it out yourself. We've equipped you. Option 1.5, keep chewing on it. Don't even try to change your situation. You can just kind of think about it as you're driving the car. Oh, that was really interesting. Be asked by different coaches multiple times down the road, and each time wonder, am I making the right choice by continually saying no, or am I just kind of on repeat? No, thanks. No, I don't think so. No. But then possibly later you realize, why am I saying no? Maybe this would be good. And then you're going to just regret it. All those years that you said no for no reason. Why not? Why not say yes? So here's option 2, a business in a box. Imagine being handed a job opportunity with limitless financial and lifestyle possibilities. Imagine working at your own pace with no boss. But in place of a formal boss, having a business mentor and a team to encourage and support you. There's a lot more to this. Here's just a few of the teams. A lot of these were represented tonight on the call. There's just a few. I can't put the names of 700 different individuals and teams that are represented with the coaching collective. Tonight, the ones you met, myself, were just the talking heads, right? I mean, I shouldn't say that talking heads. We were the ones that were asked to share tonight. Remember, we're not just blindly trusting. We've seen results by following the systems, and others have seen even better results. Not just because they've been doing it longer. Like, that's the amazing thing about this business. People quit. People get antsy. You stick with it, and man, it changes your life. The things we've talked about are not just theory. I've lived each part. So when I'm talking about that business cycle, the cycle of business, I've started 5 different businesses, and I've rode the cycles. I have started businesses in recessions. I've started businesses when things are going good. I've seen the cycles, and I didn't understand it. I didn't have a bell curve that I had learned about from personal development while I was going through it. It just felt hard. But now that I've seen it, it's like, oh, I'm equipped. So we've learned the difference between working hard and stressed success and smart success. And we want you to thrive and not just survive. Like, we are done. Me as an individual, us as a team, like, most of us started coaching when we were basically like, I'm done being stuck. I'm done just like surviving, going through the motions. I want to thrive. I want to make a difference. Me and myself, Ashley, I'm not special. I came in knowing zero about network marketing. I was so turned off by the term, so turned off. I had read 1.5 business development books, even though I ran businesses. I hadn't consistently worked out in 10 years. You can see that milkshake that I was addicted to in my social media. My social media feed was full of sarcasm, whining, and selfies of my kids. I guess it's not a selfie, it's a themmy. With my own face was never in. Like this picture, this with my big fluffy red hair and the glasses. That was like at, what was it at? It was at some important party. I had to go and set the photo booth up. I didn't have a bra. I don't remember why I didn't. I think I like literally had to run out the door to go to set this up. So I put glasses on and I like put this little coat on that looked semi-stylish because I had to go work. And I was like, I do not want to be working. Do you want to learn how to create a life of financial freedom while helping others through online health and fitness coaching? If so, now I'm inviting you, we're all inviting you to join the squad. Join our coaching collective. This business in a box model is where we teach you how to use Beachbody products, tools, paired with your unique personality, brand, story, to create a successful business without the barriers and drawbacks of traditional business ownership. You heard, you saw us for a little bit at the beginning. You see my face. You heard our voices. You heard our stories. We're all really different. We teach you how to make a brand and business around you. Here's what you're going to get if you join our squad. One-on-one mentorship. So the coach that invited you here tonight, or maybe you're watching this, a replay tomorrow morning, whenever, you're going to get mentorship with them. They're going to be your point person. You're going to get maybe texts or emails or phone calls or whatever it is, whatever's best for you. That means encouragement, empowerment, and resources as opposed to pressure and performance. They're going to teach you what they've done, and they're going to teach you what other people have done. You get team support. We operate with the golden rule principle. Instead of trying to do it all ourselves, we share resources very freely. We're like, hey, does anybody have a template for a free ab group? Sometimes we'll run these free groups to, get people involved. Hey, does anybody have any good wording for this type of post? Or do you guys like this picture or this picture better? This mode has helped us become one of the fastest growing teams in a company in a short time. We are also a 2-time elite team. We do this as a team. There are all different types of people in our team. We've got corporate backgrounds, creatives, healthcare, retail, nannies, teachers, parents, service or ministry, fitness, wellness, entrepreneurs, the list goes on and on. Here's what else you're gonna get. Our onboarding training. So one example is Smart Start. This is something available to everybody. Every coach has a different onboarding. Smart Start will be available to everybody. So this is just one of the training tools. We have self-paced courses, small groups that are leader-led trainings, live video group calls, and one-on-one onboarding calls. We have custom templates and resources. So what's ours is yours. We have templates for our challenge groups, for free groups. We want you to work less than we do and love your life more. So we just pass on. If we did it, why not let you use it, right? So even this webinar that I'm doing, if you wanted to recreate it and do it, I'll give you the slides. We also share an adjustable custom graphics website app. I realize, I have a background in doing some graphics and photography, and some of the times people would join my team and they'd be like, but I'm not good at that. I was like, I don't want to hear that as an excuse. First of all, I wasn't good at it when I was born. I just practiced. And I thought, okay, can't just tell them that. So I thought, what if we had a way to where I could make graphics, some of the other people that are really good and loved making graphics could make them, and then people that were scared and didn't like it as much, they could come in, push copy, and they could just edit what everybody else had done and put their own spin, change the color, maybe the font, put their picture in, and that's why we have a team Canva account. You're also going to get Beachbody On Demand. It's like Netflix or Hulu for Beachbody workouts. There's even a clean eating cooking show. You can stream it from any of your devices. You can even, if you're going to go somewhere like remote jungles where there's no Wi-Fi, you can download a few the workouts to your phone. We've got like 40 different workouts. They're always coming up with new ones. I mean, there's just everything, and you get all of it. There's even meal plans in a blog. You'll get 30 days, and that's I don't remember if I said, it's a year full membership to Beachbody On Demand. And that's what we use with our clients is Beachbody On Demand. So you're going to have a year access. You get 30 days of Shakeology. So you can choose from vegan formula or whey-based formula. I only drink vegan because I have a sensitive tummy. There's chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. And you know what? There's 2 new flavors, and there's one new one, cafe latte. And that's actually my favorite. And after I'm done with this webinar, even though I already had 1 cafe latte, I think I deserve a second one. And I blend it really thick with coconut milk, and then I'll put some nut butter and cacao nibs. And it's like eating a salad. No, it's as healthy as eating a salad, but I blend it thick and it tastes like ice cream. So good. You're going to, as a coach, get 25% off of Shakeology and all other products. So that includes, we have a performance line like workout clothes. We have the performance line we've talked about Energize and the pre-workout and all these amazing Recover, the Daily Sunshine that, I feed my kids every morning, all of that, 25% off of everything. You will get our Power Hour pre-launch. Sorry, it says pre-launch. It's because I didn't edit this right. But you get our Power Hour checklist. And this is just a prioritized checklist it's basically what was passed down when I became a coach. And it just shows you like what the most important things to do every day. So if you had an hour to work on your business, like you're working full time and you need to do it during lunch, you get it done within this hour with this checklist. And now here's this fast action bonus that I was talking about. So I disregard what says UK first. It's our fast action bonus. You will get templates, all of the templates for our free groups that we run. And so we use free groups as a way to help people that we don't know, cold market, as we say, help to get to know us better, kind of get a taste of what we do as coaches. And so we may have like a water free group where everybody focuses on drinking a gallon of water a day, or sit-ups, or we may have like this one I see is a mocktail. So it's like alcohol-free, healthy mocktail drinks. And so that's something that you can give to people to help just build a cold market, people you don't know, help them to get to know you. You're also going to get, this is if you join the Coaching Collective tonight by the end of this webinar, okay? So, well, I'll give you until midnight. If you join tonight, you're going to also get this, a 30-day free membership to Audible. We talked about personal development. This is a ton of personal development books. I mean, it's also fiction, kids books, whatever, but it's our source for personal development books. For 30 days, you get access to Audible. Pretty amazing. Also, 2 of our favorite personal development books you'll get on PDF, which is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson and A Compound Effect, which probably, like, if I had to pick one book that I think everybody should read to change their life, just the most concise book, it would be The Compound Effect. The total value of all of this is $4,945. Our investment in you is $4,675. Are you ready to create a life of freedom while helping others grow and thrive? You're probably asking, well, what's my investment? Your investment is only $140 to $199. And that's through a challenge pack. And the challenge packs are a year, well, it kind of depends. You can get a challenge pack that's just one program, like a DVDs of just one program, 30 days of Shakeology. Those ones are $140. I don't recommend that. I 100% recommend getting the, this is 3 month, let me edit this. Some of these slides, I'm like, oh, I didn't edit them. Okay, so this is the challenge pack. Basically, challenge pack is like a sales bundle, and that's how we really help people. It's all inclusive: the nutrition, fitness, and the portion control. And when you sign up for the challenge pack, you become a coach you can be a coach for free. You can also sign up as a coach for $40. You don't get anything, and you're not getting exposed to any of the products, so I don't think it makes sense. But like Helen said, why not? You're investing in your health. Like basically you're investing in breakfast. So this is what right here, this 30 days of Shakeology, a year subscription to Beachbody On Demand, and the portion fixed containers with a book. Right now it's only $160. That's until the end of the month. It's then going to be again $199. So there's multiple reasons why this is the best time to sign up ever. There's no risk because there's a 30-day money back guarantee. Literally, you could say, you know what? All right, like, so I can try this superfood smoothie that tastes like Frappuccino ice cream for 30 days. Okay. And I'd get a year access to the best fitness programs in the world. I bet I would use that. Yeah, I bet even if I run every day, I bet there's going to be times where I just can't run or can't get to the gym. Like, let's worst case scenario. Well, that portion fix, that would be really nice just to know, like, am I eating the right amount of carbs? Am I eating too much? Like, I might as well try it out. So what if you do it? What if you try it out? And on day 28, 29, you're like, bleh. All right, send it back, money back. No big deal. Cancel your coaching account. There's no risk. It's time. It's time to thrive. It's time to do this, guys. There's literally no risk. There's only everything to gain. So if you're ready, you're going to go to lovelearnthrive.com/coach squad. lovelearnthrive.com/coach squad. And this is the breakdown of that $4,945 value. The one-on-one business mentorship over the years, the amount of time that we spend, I would say that's worth at least $2,000. I get paid when I consult other people for their business for 3 one-hour business consultations, $500. Like, that's low, but $500. Okay, so that's for 3 one-hour consultations. And if you stick around, you're going to be getting a lot more than that. Smart Start. So the training, that's just one of the training. We have Lindsay runs a new coach, like a smaller group, like more leader-led intensive kickstart. So $500 value for all of that. All of the online workshops and trainings, you're going to be invited to one of our coaches, Jen. She's doing one right now to help people go to diamond in their rank. So all of those, $1,500. The adjustable graphics library, the Canva, I think I underestimated this one to say $250 because when I first made this slide 2 years ago, there was less graphics in there. Now there's a lot, and they're not just graphics. They're like full on groups and resources, $250. Challenge group and other templates, so like what we say when we post the graphics, $300. Those fast action bonus items, $125. 30 days of Shakeology, $130. And a fitness program, it says $60 to $160. If it's all access, it would be like $100. That's the value of it. Where's the risk? All you're going to do is get happy, get fit, and get connected. lovelearnthrive.com/coach squad. This is what you're going to see when you go to that website. Just going to say this. Put your name, your email, and then the full name of the coach that invited you. Don't just say Ash or Ashley. I got a last name, Ashley Brockinton. Don't put me if I didn't invite you. Don't put me. I will definitely be part of your life and your journey because you will be part of our team, but I'm not your point person if I didn't invite you. And so after you do, go ahead and check your promotions folder because sometimes the email that's going to be sent will go there. If you have Google, check your inbox first, but if it doesn't, then check your promotions folder, see if it goes there. And if it does, then you're going to click on it and drag it to your inbox. But you're going to get an email. and it's going to give you the fast action bonus right away. And it's going to just remind you to what you need to tell your coach to email them, because they're going to create a link that's going to get sent to you to sign up. So you're going to need to tell them what Shakeology flavor you want, vegan or whey, and then chocolate, vanilla, cafe latte, strawberry. One of those, which one of those, or there's a barista pack that has chocolate, vanilla, and cafe latte. There's actually a Neapolitan pack. I didn't want to add too many options, but it's chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. So tell them which option you want, and then they will send you a link. And then they're going to also, after you sign up, they're going to send you the first steps to get onboarded to learn. You know, this is a webinar on like an overview, but they're going to tell you the actual steps. If you need any help or if you have any questions, you can comment below, or you can just reach out to the coach that sent you. And I heard that this has been cutting out a little bit. So I hope that's not the case still. I did record it, so hopefully it recorded on my computer. And if I watch back and I see that the recording here live in the group also cut out, then I'll instead upload the recording that was recorded to my computer. So I apologize if that happened. That's so weird. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining all of us and just learning more about coaching, learning about our heart. I'm going to push refresh on the questions. I honestly can't tell if it cut out for a lot of you. Thank you all so much for joining all of us. That's when you try to watch it live, you hear yourself. Oh, that's funny. I'm just reading a couple of these. Gracie said, up late eating pretzels. Are you talking about me? Are you up late eating pretzels, Gracie? I won't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. I only said it because I used to binge eat pretzels and orange juice. I thought they were health food. All right, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. I am so thankful that all of you came and learned about this incredible opportunity. You absolutely have nothing to lose by giving this a try. It's definitely a personal growth thing. It's not easy. It's not easy to daily keep track of your health, to grow as a person. You know, it's not easy to discipline yourself to work every day, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So I hope that I get to meet a lot of you. And this is something I say, okay, this is something I tell my team all the time. I say, I tell them when they're, you know, talking to people about what we do as coaches, I tell them to be careful who they talk to, because we are like a family. And I tell them, only talk to people. Now, with clients, obviously, we want to help everybody and as many people. But when it comes to this coaching opportunity, I tell them, talk to people about it, not people that you think like that can't do anything better, you know, like, or I don't know, like really desperate. I say, talk to people that you would want to go on vacation with, because that's what you're going to end up doing. Because honestly, like, I'm taking the team, it's open to our whole coaching collective, if they meet goals, to Costa Rica this year. So like, you could join this team and we'll tell you what the qualifications are. You could join us in February in Costa Rica. There's yearly trips that Beachbody like lets us earn, so everybody can earn. That's not that hard to learn. We're going to Riviera Maya this April. going to Boston with some coaches, going to Las Vegas in the fall, going to Indianapolis, went to New Orleans together last couple weeks ago. So you really do, like, when you help people become successful, like, you are going to be hanging out with them. And so if you were invited to this webinar, you have to know that that's a really big compliment, because it really doesn't behoove us, and it won't behoove you to entrust this gift with people that you feel are negative or would not vibe with you or that would bring you down. You really want to only, when it comes to this coaching opportunity, we're building a team, because that means we work together. You like want people that are better than you, that will lift you up. That's really kind of how it works, is like we're trying to put together a team of rock stars and people that we would want to go on vacations with and we think are really amazing people. So if you were invited here tonight, please take it as a huge compliment that we see something very, very special in you. We see you as a world changer, as a life changer, as somebody that really has a lot to give to the world, and that we want to invest in so that you can like pay that mission forward. All right, I'm gonna peace out and go make that Shakeology. Have a great, great night, everybody.